All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Kakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to us younger brothers, and peace and blessing, salutations to the hopeful lake out there, pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful lake, the believers, the listeners, whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. All right, just want to go into a lesson, dealing with the perks of power. Something that was mentioned in the live screen, me and the beloved brother Anah out of Memphis, we went into yesterday, we spoke on it about the perks, okay, of rulership, okay, the perks of rulership. And we're just going to go into a few things, and Lord will, you brothers, all right, and you few sisters are edified. Now, when you get Revelation 2 and 25, which we always bring out, but we're going to set the foundation of the scripture with this lesson. It says, but that which you have already, hold fast till I come. Okay? And that's speaking for us in the ministry, man, to hold on to the faith and the belief, okay, in the Bible. Okay? But that's the thing that we have to fight to hold on to, because we live in a society that's full of doubt when it comes to the Bible. Okay? We live in a society that's full of doubt when it comes to the Bible. And everyone else pretty much is believing in the false narrative. So this true narrative that we have to hold fast to it, okay, till Yahweh shall come. And that's going to govern our decision making to make it to the point where we can enjoy the perks of power. Okay? Verse 26, it says, and he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. Okay? To him will I give power over the nations. And that's the end game, all right, for the elect of Israel. Beginning with that governing body is the power over these nations, and that's going to come with perks. Okay? There's perks with being in power, and there's perks to having power. Okay? When you have power, all right, when you have power, everything comes to you. Okay? When you have true raw power, everything comes to you. People submit themselves unto you because of true raw power. All right? You look at Esau Edom today, all right, especially when, after World War II, that era, all right, after America dropped those atomic bombs, well, there was a showcase of raw power, And ever since then, Esau Edom been having his way out here, man. Okay? Because he showed that showcase of power. Okay? And in the kingdom, even before the kingdom, there's going to be a great showcase of power, and then there's going to be some perks that come with that power. Well, let's deal with it, because let's get this in Deuteronomy. And it was always intended for us to be in power, but we had to go through, okay, these trials so we can be balanced, in rulership. All right? So we can learn how to be, balanced judges, man. Okay? This is Deuteronomy. All right? I believe it's the 15th chapter. All right, this is Deuteronomy. All right, 15 and 5. It says, only if thou carefully hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power to observe to do all these commandments which I command thee this day, for the Lord thy power blesseth thee as he promised thee, and thou shalt lend unto many nations, but thou shalt not borrow, and thou shalt reign over many nations, but they shall not reign over thee. Okay? And it said we shall lend to many nations and not borrow, man. There's power in that, man. You look at how Esau Edom runs the earth today. Most of these nations are indebted to the central bank. Okay? Most of these nations are in debt to the central bank. And when you're in debt to someone, if someone can put that on the comment board and think Proverbs, the borrower is subject to the lender. Okay? Because if you're in debt to someone, you have to pay that back. Okay, whether it's through labor, through property, but if you're in debt, you always, okay, are in some type of servitude if you're in debt, and that's why this society mainly today is ran off debt slave. Like Esau Edom doesn't have to personally have a taskmaster over you, all right, cracking the whip for you to get to work. No, he just puts everyone in debt now. Okay? The reason why we get up and go to work because we're in debt, because we have some type of bill. Pretty much you have to pay at least 1 or 2 bills every week. That's what we're in servitude to. And who are we paying this money to? Okay? It all goes to Esau Edom at the end. It trickles up to Esau Edom. Okay? Because he's the head. Okay? We're the tail. So the money trickles from the tail up to the head. And in our kingdom, that's how it's going to be for us. All right? And the brother put it, this is the brother Yashima, tribe of Judah, Proverbs 22:7 says, the rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. Okay? So if you're in a position where you're being lended, all right, lended to, then that makes you a servant. But see, when you're in power, you're the one doing the lending. Okay? And that's in the kingdom. We're going to be over control over all the resources. See, when you're in possession of the earth, all right, and let's get that. When you're in possession of the earth, that's all the resources with. Like, we see people that's, you know, that's why it's such a big wealth gap. Okay, you go to a nigga like Michael Jordan. That nigga had to do all that labor, sell all them shoes and do this and do that to finally become a billionaire. Just $1 billion. That's a great feat to a nigga to get $1 billion. Well, these Edomites have trillions because they own the resources, man. Okay, they own the raw materials that it takes to make a Jordan, the raw material that it takes to make a Gucci belt, the raw materials that it takes to make a Ferrari. They own that. Okay, so if the Ferrari dealership is making billions of dollars, well, how much more the people that own the raw material that the Ferrari dealership need? Okay, all this infrastructure. All this steel and rebar that goes into the infrastructure. Well, how much more the people that own the actual steel? Okay? And in the kingdom, we're going to be the head, which means we're going to own the source. We're going to own the raw resources, man. We have to understand what the scriptures is talking about because you can read it and you can look at it as a light thing. Okay? When you go to Psalms 2, all right, and 7, it says, I will declare the decree. The Lord hath said unto me, thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance. And when you're in power, the most valuable resource you can have is other people, is actual people. Okay, there's no resource that's more valuable than other people, because you can own, let's say if you own, all right, 7 million acres of land, okay, and you had all type of resources on that land. Well, how are you going to make those resources useful for you? You have to have human resources. We're going to prove it. Okay, it said, ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. So we're going to own the earth. Yahweh Shai is going to divide the earth amongst the joint heirs, man. Okay, whom we're fighting to be. You see? So possession of the earth means what, man? You need people to work the earth. Okay, Esau, when he got possession of the earth, what did he do? Mass enslavement. Okay, that's why it was such a mass enslavement, because the earth was given into his hand, and he needed some slaves to make the earth, all right, to reap the benefits of the earth. Okay, like I said, you can be one man, you can have 7 million acres, but if it's just you, then those 7 million acres are no good, because you can't work all that land. You can't reap, okay, the resources that grow in that land. You can't tend to all, the livestock, okay? But in the kingdom, how is it going to be set up? And this the perks of power, okay? When people, okay, fear your power, All right, they get in line. So when you go to uh, Isaiah 61, okay, Isaiah 61 and 4, and it says, "And they shall build the old waste, they shall raise up the former desolation, and they shall repair the waste cities, the desolation of many generations." Now, we're being repaired in the spirit, okay? The house of David is being raised, okay? That old, Zion, the memorial of Yahweh Shem Al Shai, but then you're going to have a physical rebuilding, and these heathens are going to do it, okay? And it says, "And they shall build the old waste, they shall raise up the former desolations, and they shall repair the waste cities, the desolations of many generations." Okay? It says, "And strangers shall stand and feed your flocks, and sons of the alien shall be your plowmen and your vine dressers." Okay? We're going to be given the earth, but we're going to be given slaves to go with it. Okay? Because why? We're going to be like gods in the earth, man. The Israelite man is going to be like a god in the earth. Okay? The Israelite man is going to be powerful beyond, anything this earth has ever seen. Okay? It's going to be raw power. When you're around the Israelite man in the kingdom, it's going to be pure raw power that you're around, man. Okay? Directly connected to the source through Yahweh Shai. All right? And that power comes what? Breeds obedience. Okay? Power, that's gonna what? Breed obedience. That's gonna, you see that? So we're gonna get the earth, but then we're gonna get these heathens to work the earth for us, man. We're gonna have human resources, man. That's the perks of power, and that's why the scriptures say what? Rest is allowed in the kingdom. Why? Because we're gonna have other people, okay, maintain the earth while we enjoy the earth, man. Okay? It's gonna be their job to maintain and keep things up and going as we enjoy the earth, man. Okay? Just like now, the people that we work for, the heads of these different companies we work for, we probably never see them. Okay? We would never see them. You would probably never see the top. If you make work for a major company, you work for Walmart, you ain't gonna see a Walton. Okay? But the Waltons are going to enjoy the earth. Okay? While the workers are maintaining their empire. Okay? And then they'll pay someone $1 million a year to make decisions for them. So they're in a position where they have plenty of rest. They're in their rest. We're finna come to our rest, and that's one of the perks of rulership. Okay, set systems up, and you put people in place to maintain those systems, man. Okay, and that's one of the perks. And another thing, when you in power, okay, you don't pay tribute like taxes. See, ain't no such thing as taxes when you're in power. Okay, King David didn't pay tribute to no nation. Solomon didn't pay tribute to no nation. Even in the Maccabees, you seen how the Greeks were pretty much waving the tribute on the Maccabees because they was winning so many battles. Okay, when you have true power, you don't pay tribute to nobody. Okay, especially when you become the head, all right, in the earth. When the Babylonians was in power, they wasn't paying tribute to anybody. The Persians, when they was in power, they wasn't paying tribute to anybody. Okay? They ain't have to answer to any other court system. That's why America, like now, the American military can go over there and just start bombing the country in the Middle East and nothing be done because they don't have to answer to anybody. Okay? That's why all these nations, they just complain about America, but there's nothing they can do because America don't answer to anyone, man. These Edomites in general, okay? They don't really answer to anyone. That old fluff like the UN and all, that's a fluff, okay? America don't have to answer to the UN courts or the NATO courts. They do what the hell they want to do, man, as we see, okay? um, let's let's go. Let me get this in Matthew. Okay? I'm saying when you in power, you don't pay tribute, man. Tribute is another sign of a servitude. So I think that's Matthew. Um, this is Matthew 17:24, and it says, and when they were come to Capernaum, they that received tribute money came to Peter and said, doth your master pay tribute? He saith, yes. And when he was coming to the house, Yahushua prevented him, saying, what thinkest thou, Simon? Of whom do the kings of the earth take custom of tribute? Of their own children or of strangers? Peter said unto him, of strangers. Yahushua said unto them, then are the children free. Okay? Because the nation of Israel, see, in the kingdom, you will never have to pay tribute to another nation. Okay? We won't have to pay tribute. We won't have to answer to we don't have to explain to Elon what we're about to do. Or explain to Ishmael what we finna do in the earth, man. Okay? Ain't gonna be no council, ain't gonna be no UN, ain't even gonna be no fake, you know, assembly of nations. Now we gotta take a council, UN council and vote. No, we're gonna be in power, man. Okay, we're gonna dominate and rule the earth in righteousness, man. When you in power for real, you don't have to answer no other nation for nothing. Just like Jake marching and begging to be treated equal. It shows you how less power you got. Okay, Esau shoot you niggas upside the head, nigga shoot your auntie, your grandma, your little cousin, okay? Then get a GoFundMe, nigga get $1 million bonus for killing one of you niggas and you go march. Cause you have no power. Okay? Ain't no our people have no power, man. The most powerless nation on earth is Israel, man. Okay? Is the tribes. Now let's go from there because another perk of being in power is you can mold the image of the earth to your fashion. Okay, like I said before, the earth is gonna be customized for Israel. Okay, like and then brothers gonna be within their own. Is gonna be a kingdom within themselves. You know, each brother is gonna be like over their own dominion. So everything within your empire is gonna be customized just for you, man. For you brothers, man. Okay, so when you go to here, because when you in power, all right, you influence the earth. Okay, and we seen that before with Solomon. Let's get some accounts. They go into it. Get a couple of accounts. Oh man. Get to pull up. Yep, this is Sirach 47:13. It says Solomon reigned in a peaceable time and was honored, for the Most High made all quiet round about him, that he might build an house in his name and prepare his sanctuary forever. How wise wast thou in thy youth, and as a flood filled with understanding. Thy soul covered the whole earth, and thou fillest it with dark parables. Thy name, okay, and name also goes to authority, went far unto the islands, and for thy peace thou was beloved. Yeah, because Solomon had the biggest influence on the earth when he was in power. Okay, all the kingdoms of the earth was conforming their kingdoms unto how Solomon ran his kingdom. Okay, that's why those kings were coming to learn, all right, about how Solomon was running his kingdom, because they heard of the glory and the splendor and the wisdom of it, man. Okay? And it's gonna be like that in the kingdom. All right? These nations are gonna be conformed unto our ways, man. Ain't gonna have to worry about no feminist movement. See, they ain't gonna be. That's another thing, another perk of power. Okay, how you deal with your and your family is gonna be according to the standards of your government. You don't have to answer to another government. Like now, pretty much the woman knows that she can go get another nation involved in y'all situation. Okay? That's why a woman will cut up like that, because she knows that she can always go to this man's system and get him involved. Okay? Like when you get married according to the state, well, you're getting another entity involved in your marriage. Okay? When you get put on child support, that's your woman going to tell on you to someone else. That show we ain't in power. And our women know that. That's why they handle Jake like they handle Jake, man. Because they know that they always can pull that card where they can go tell, okay, the nation that's in power, he not treating me right. Or I want this to happen, or I want that to happen. In the kingdom, then it's just gonna be you and your situations, man. Okay, ain't no other nation gonna intervene in the situations you got going on with your family, man. Okay, but when you ain't in power, when you just a peasant, then there's another entity pretty much dictating what you can and can't do. Okay, showing you that this ain't it, man. And it is terrible, man. All right, but in the kingdom, everything gonna be conformed unto us, man. All right, to our liking, man, to the way they was supposed to be. You know, and um, it says the countries marveled. This back in Sirach 47:17 said the countries marveled at thee for thy songs and proverbs and parables and interpretations. Okay, by the name of the Lord power, which is called the Lord power of Israel, thou didst gather gold as tin and didst multiply silver, okay, as lead. All right, and Solomon had that legacy, okay, of being, this rich, this very wealthy and wise king. Okay, and he was in complete power. He didn't pay tribute. He didn't have to ask no other nation, you know, about making moves. Okay, he had 1,000 women, and he wasn't put on. He had 1,000 women. Okay, and nothing was said. Okay, he didn't go viral. Because he had 1,000 women, and you know, he was criticized. And he's a dog and a womanizer, and whatever these dumbass, titles they got for men. Okay, that's not within this westernized box, man. Okay, so those are the perks of power, and that's what we're coming into, man. We come to a time where, okay, we're gonna set the standards. We're gonna have the last say so on what goes and what doesn't. We're gonna influence the earth. We're gonna set the standard of what's right, what's wrong. Okay? No more paying tribute to anyone. No one being on anybody's time clock or schedule. Okay? And when it's time for the execute judgment, we're not gonna have to have counsel with another nation, man. Okay? Judgment just gonna go forth. All right? So Lord will you brothers and you few sisters edified. It's a lot more we can go into, but for time's sake, we're gonna cut it short. Just wanted to hit the main points. Till next time I say Shalom, Kwam Yasha Allah. Alright. Ball. Come, we need your house shot like yesterday. Kwam Yasha Allah.